And a campaign, a member of Senator McCain's campaign saying today that if we keep on talking about the economic crisis, we lose. I've got news for the McCain campaign. The American people are losing right now. They're losing their jobs, they're losing their health care, they're losing their homes, they're losing their savings.
All right, here to react tonight is McCain's senior economic advisor, Nancy Pfotenhauer. Nancy, welcome. Good to see you again.
Good to see you, Martha.
I'd like to get your reaction to that right off the bat. There was this quote out there today, quoting a spokesperson for John McCain, who said, you know, if the economy remains the main issue, we're in bad shape.
Well, I think, Martha, there's no question that the fact that when there's an economic downturn, that the party of whoever is the White House incumbent suffers. And so that's just basic political math, and people have been aware of that for some time. Now, obviously, Senator McCain has made the economy and his economic policies just really the fulcrum of his whole campaign. I mean, we spend about 80% of our time talking about it, unless Russia invades Georgia, and then there's a little bit of a sidebar. But we spend most of our time focusing on those things because Senator McCain cares so much about it. And he's been very clear, had a very, if I can be biased, has a very comprehensive plan to get the economy back on track, and we spent almost all of our time advocating it.
Nancy, a lot of Republicans and conservatives, though, have been watching the campaign over the past couple of weeks and said, you know, where's the leadership on this issue coming from John McCain, and why hasn't he done a better job of setting himself apart from the Bush administration and outlining the things that he's done over the years that, you know, would have bucked the trend at Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac?
Oh, my goodness, Martha. I've certainly taken every opportunity that's been presented to make that case. And as was mentioned earlier by Carl Cameron, I mean, clearly there's a difference here. Senator McCain was out front. He wasn't even on the banking committee. He was operating off committee when he came out and supported that Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac reform bill. And even 2 years before then, and this gets a little bit less attention, back in 2003, Senator McCain introduced legislation that would have established a regulator for Fannie and Freddie that would have been housed at Treasury. He was focused on this very far in advance, and basically Barack Obama, like I said, called it in, but really it was Barney Frank, Chris Dodd, Chuck Schumer that were leading the charge to prevent reform at Fannie and Freddie. So the Democrats midwifed it with the help of a couple of Republicans, but they midwifed it, and Barack Obama went right along with it.
All right, Nancy, before I let you go, I just have 30 seconds left, and I want to get your reaction to the sort of the unearthing of this Keating scandal and John McCain's name being associated with it. And the danger, of course, is that, I mean, if you look at the background on this story, it's very clear that he was not, charged with anything, and that they felt that he should be sort of put off the list. He and John Glenn both. They never found anything after a very serious effort. But nonetheless, you have these pictures, these images flash in front of viewers that are going to connect him with a former financial scandal.
Well, yeah, and the bottom line is that he was exonerated. He wasn't even found guilty of violating an ethics rule or a Senate procedure or anything, much less anything more serious than that. And so, I mean, and by the way, it really spurred him on to take on one of the greatest missions of his career since then, which is reform efforts. That's what led to his campaign finance reform effort that took 14 years. That got the JFK Library Foundation gave him the Profile and Courage Award for Public Citizen, which is a liberal group, as you know. Gave him awards for it and recognized his leadership. The gift ban, leading the Abrahomoff investigation, all of that has become, a cornerstone of McCain's career.
Well, you guys have a big night tomorrow night to get ready for, I know.
Yes.
So, Nancy, thank you very much for joining us tonight.
Thanks so much, Martha. Thank you.
All right, fair and balanced.